Welcome to my class, student. It's class 6 English, A Pact with the Sun. We are doing chapter 3, The Zephyr's Treasure, and this is session 1, and we are going to read the text. As the title suggests, this story is about the Zephyr's treasure. Let's see what the story is. You know that at the start of the chapter, these are the hints that say us little about the story. So what is the first hint? A poor shepherd once lived in Iran. The story is about a poor shepherd. He was an Iranian. He lived in Iran. This is the place. Now, though uneducated, he was very wise and helpful. He was not educated, but he was very wise and helpful. And the third pointer is, the king decided to meet him in disguise. That means he was so famous that the king decided to meet him. Let's start the story. In a village in Iran, there once lived a shepherd. He was very poor. He did not have even a small cottage of his own. He had never been to school or learned to read and write, because he was very poor and he was not educated, so he didn't know about learning and writing. For there were very few schools in those days. In those days in Iran, in village, there were very few schools. So he didn't know how to read and write. But what happened? Though poor and uneducated, this shepherd was very wise. He understood people's sorrows and troubles. Though the people could say it or not, he could understand people's sorrows and troubles. See, this is, if you understand others' problems, others' sorrows, that means though you are not educated, this understanding can bring you closer to other people. And he used to help them face their problems with courage and common sense. And what is the next quality? He always encouraged people to face their problems with courage and common sense. If there is life, there are problems. So don't get worried. Don't be panicked. Always face the problems with common sense and courage. Many people came to him for advice because he was very wise and he could understand the troubles and the problems. So he could provide the perfect solution to all the problems. So many people came to him for advice. Soon he became famous for his wisdom and friendly nature. As he was very kind, as you know, he understood people's sorrows and troubles. So he became very famous for his wisdom and friendly nature. The king of that country heard about him and thought of meeting him. As you know, earlier kings were there. So when the kings have a habit of keeping all the best things with them. So when the king heard about the shepherd and about his wisdom and friendly nature, he wanted to test the shepherd. He just wanted to meet him, just to test his wisdom. So what he decided? He decided to meet him, but in disguise. Disguised as a shepherd. He didn't take any other role. He was disguised as a shepherd only and riding on a mule instead of horse, because he wanted to provide the shepherd a comfortable environment so that he could understand the shepherd in a better way. One day the king came to the cave. Why the cave? Because the shepherd didn't have his own cottage in the village and he used to live in the cave where the wise shepherd lived. So the wise shepherd lived in the cave as he was very poor and he didn't have his own cottage. So the king went to the cave. As soon as the shepherd saw the traveler coming towards the cave, he rose to welcome him. It's a general tendency. It's a general you can say rule. If someone comes to your house, if you are a host and if a guest appear to your house, it is our duty to welcome the guest. Thus the same thing happened. The shepherd rose to welcome the traveler, and he didn't know that who the traveler was. He thought he was a shepherd only. He took the tired traveler inside the cave, gave him water to drink and a share of his own meager meal. Whatever the meal he had, he shared that meal to that traveler. The king rested for the night in the cave. Whole night the king rested in the cave and was greatly impressed by the shepherd's hospitality and wise conversation. Whole night they spent the night in conversation, and that conversation was wise conversation. It was not a silly one. So the king was very impressed by this wise conversation. Now, the next part of the story, the shepherd was able to make out that the visitor was none other than the king. The king tried to hide his identity, but the wise shepherd understood who the traveler was. The king made the wise shepherd governor of a small district. The other governors became jealous of the new governor and called him dishonest. Now these are the clues to what happens to the next. So let's see. Though still tired, the king decided to depart the next morning. So king was very tired because he rode on a mule instead of a horse, and instead of a horse. So what happened? He was very tired, but he had to depart. So he said, "Many thanks for your kindness to a poor traveler. I have a long way to go. Permit me to leave." That he asked permission to leave. Looking straight into the eyes of his guest, the shepherd replied, "Thank you, Your Majesty, for paying me the compliment of a visit." The shepherd understood that it was king. So what did he say? "Thank you. You don't thank me. I am thankful to you. I am honored that you paid visit to me." So what happened then? The king was astonished and was as well as pleased. He was astonished and as well as pleased. Why astonished? Because he was in disguise of a poor shepherd. And why pleased? Because he has tested the wisdom of the shepherd. He is indeed very wise. He thought to himself, "I need people like him to work for me." And the king appointed this humble shepherd the governor of a small district. There was a small district and he appointed the shepherd as a governor of that small district. First of all, he was uneducated, but he was very wise, he was very humble, he had a friendly nature. So he had appointed him as a governor of a small district. Although he rose to power and dignity, the shepherd remained as humble as ever. What happened? Though the shepherd was very humble, though his designation was increasing, his power was increasing, and his dignity was also at the highest level, but he always remained as humble. People loved and honored him for his wisdom, sympathy and goodness. See, wisdom, sympathy and goodness. When he was poor, uneducated in the village, he was famous for his wisdom and friendly nature. And as a governor also, he was famous for his wisdom, sympathy and goodness. He was kind and just. See, so many adjectives we have, the writer has used to describe the shepherd. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and just. to one and all. He was just to one and all means he was just to, this is number 5. He was just to one and all, like he never did any biased decision. He never took any biased decision. He was always just and fair. Now his fame as a fair and wise governor soon spread throughout the country. Everyone came to know about this governor who was very fair and wise, who was very kind and just, and who was very sympathetic and good in nature. So, what have we learned today? We have learned today about Shepherd and the king, how the poor shepherd became the governor of the small district because of his kindness, because of his wisdom, and his fame rose as a fair and just governor. In the next class, we will read the next part of the story. Till then, go through the story, say to your friends about the story. We will meet again. Thank you.